Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 9 of the F224 Andrea Kimi Antonelli career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here at the Hungaroring. A little bit of an oddity inside the European leg of the F2 campaign. Of course, we come from the high-speed circuit of Austria and Silverstone. Obviously, after this, we've got Belgium and Monza. This is a very tight technical challenge, kind of slapped right in the middle of that run of very, very high speed and low downforce Grand Prix weekends. So only time will tell to see who that works out nicely for. Paul Aaron currently leads the world title. He's got a 33-point buffer over our teammate Ollie Bearman there. We've still got a couple of others as well by the names of Gabriel Bortoletto and Pepe Marti between us and our teammate there. We are P5. We came off a weekend that showed a lot of promise at Silverstone. Obviously, if you missed out on it, go back and check it out as well. If you're not already, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel. We're trying to hit 140,000 subs. But yeah, let's head out then. Qualifying here, even more important than basically everywhere else on the calendar except Monaco. Well, here we are then, ready for one-shot qualifying at the Hungaroring. And like I said, this session is really, really important for us. I think all eyes as well, though, are going to be on Paul Aaron, of course, World Championship leader. But any session, if he doesn't make it inside the top 10, really, really does screw him. Because, of course, it's not like he's going up against one other driver in the championship. He's got 4 of us that are already capitalised if he makes an error. So far this lap, Paul Aaron at the front of the order. By the time we get through to the end of Sector 1, the margins, though, are so fine as we chuck the car up over the apex of Turn 4. But yeah, any little error, any misshift can make all the difference here. As yeah, we've been a little bit ragged throughout qualifying sessions so far this year. So I would like to try and get a good one under our belt this weekend. But yeah, we need to just try and make sure that we end up inside that top 10. There is a really nice line through the exit of the S's. Going to just bang off the red line through the exit of Sector 2. And you can see purple through that middle sector there. So that wasn't bad going for us. Shut the car in now. Just we've got a couple more hairpins to try and navigate on this lap. You can see we are not a million miles away from the Estonian there. A little bit of a wobble through the penultimate corner. Hopefully that isn't going to make too much of a difference there as we will shut the car through the final turn. Hope it grips up on the exit. Power down towards the line. It is P6 on the grid. It could have been better. It could have been worse. There we go. 2 of your best in the championship over 1 lap. They will lock out the front row for Sunday's feature race there. Ratomo Miata. Brilliant effort by him to end up P3 ahead of Richard Verschoor. Kushmaini is a name we haven't seen in a few rounds there, just ahead of myself, with Hauger, Martins, Pepe Marti, and Zach O'Sullivan will line up on the pole, ready for the sprint race there. Colapinto, a little bit disappointing for him, down in P13. Hajar down in 14th. Gabriel Bortoletto all the way down in 17th there, so disappointing for him, as Dams will lock out the back row for both races this weekend. But for us, we've got a strong starting spot.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint race then. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? The Hungaroring is located 12 miles northeast of the capital, Budapest. It's 2.7 miles long, featuring 14 corners, and it's got a reputation for making overtaking difficult. Nevertheless, there's a history of some truly exceptional races here. Let's hope our Formula 2 drivers can serve up some more of that today. In the commentary box, I'm Alex Jakes. Alex Brundle is alongside me. And now, we've had sprints for years in Formula 2, but with a shorter race, how does that change your driving style?
You go for a little more, a little earlier, using a bit more of that harder compound of the 2 tyres available per weekend in Formula 2 to try to steal a march. And equally, if you have a bit of a bump, not so much of an issue.
Well, yeah, warm tyres around the Hungaroring. It's a pretty lethal combination, one that I've experienced a few too many times inside F124. But this circuit has a real tyre killer, actually, in these cars. Where you haven't got that much downforce on them, it can be really, really difficult to try and kind of get the balance right. But that being said, we just got to try and get the best out of it that we possibly can. Try and move forward in the early laps and take some points out of Aaron and Bearman once again. It's 5 red lights down on the grid. It's going to be lights out. And oh, wait, we go there and immediately getting off to a pretty good start there. We're trying to have a look past Dennis Hauger down in towards turn 1. Everybody, though, sensing a chance, apart from Zach O'Sullivan, that has bolted free at the start. Victor Martin's trying to defend from, I believe that was Pepe Marti down his inside of the first corner. And my good start immediately has been wasted, as Hauger will try and move back past us down through turn 2. And in the end, yeah, we've ended up staying in P5 there. So just going to run out of road, a bit like Verstappen did at the real-life race back in the summer. Unfortunately, yeah, that's probably our best chance to try and capitalise off the start of this one. It is ART with a front row lockout here, so they'll be looking to try and lock this one down with one of their cars. But that being said, they have got one of the championship drivers in Pepe Marti in P3, and then another one in P5 there. We're kind of talking about it like we've got that top 5 in the championship. It is likely going to be one of us that takes the crown by the end of the season. Trying to guess who that's going to be, though, at this stage of the campaign is no easy feat there as we chuck our car through the exit sector 2. A little bit ragged and wild this time. But, yeah, where on earth are we going to be able to make moves? I mean, down to turn 1 is going to be probably your best shot. But even then, it's not going to be easy around this venue. We're trying to make sure that these hard tyres are going to work for us throughout these 14 laps. It's not going to be easy. And you have really just got to be careful you don't get any big drifts or slides or anything like that. Even just working out what the rears are doing is not that easy in these cars. You can only ever really kind of feel them once they've overstepped the mark, it always seems to feel like. But, yeah, back down in towards turn 1. See, O'Sullivan is holding off Victor Martins fairly comfortably. But, as always seems to be the case, the AI on these high downforce circuits, for whatever reason, have more straight line speed than me. It's almost like they run a default setup still, but don't lose out in the corners. It's very, very weird. I mean, just look at this. We got a really nice run on Hauger out of that final corner, and we're still just dropping away slightly by the time we get back down in towards turn 1. I mean, that's one way of going about it. Down the inside we'll go. Avoided contact there. Got the car slowed down pretty much on the apex. Now as we go side by side down in towards turn 2, that might be one of the most audacious clean dive bombs I ever do inside F124, but we're up to P4. I'm not going to complain. Oh, here we go. Battle of the front this time around between the two ARTs. Martins just tried to look around the outside of his teammate O'Sullivan there. I mean, Victor Martins, he was an absolute star in 2023. Both in this game and IRL in 2024, he has really struggled in his second year with that ART team. I think a lot of people just assumed he would be the one threat to Prima. Of course, we all know just how topsy-turvy the real-life campaign has been, as we've got someone seemingly pulling over a bit further back down the order. Not too sure who it is. That looks to be one of the Charouz cars, or not Charouz anymore. Is that Barnard or Dirksen, maybe? It is Joshua Dirksen, who's out of the race. Oh, and here we go again then. Martins, he just gets to the outside of O'Sullivan. He can't quite get far enough alongside to really make the move happen. And his teammate just able to cover him off in towards turn 1. I guess that's going to be one of the only real cars that has got an advantage. And how many times have we seen it this year where kind of the only real battle you get is P1 and P2? Simply because the DRS strains are so ridiculous. Oh, there we go. Another new fastest lap. So we get to half distance then. You can just see O'Sullivan. Oh, no, I've accidentally dive bombed. That genuinely was by accident. I mean, we've got it slowed down, and again, there's no contact. And that's got to be some of the most ridiculous moves I've ever gone for inside F124. Pepe Marti, it's a big championship rival. So I guess we can't complain that we've done it, but up into P3 we'll go then, into the podium places. This was exactly where we were last weekend in the sprint, until pretty much the final corners of that race. Could the same happen today? I'm not so convinced. Well, this time around then we'll get a first-hand look as to exactly what's going on between those ARTs. Back down in towards turn 1 every time, and hopefully we'll learn a bit about how we can try and navigate this as well. There is Martins, he closes in. Zach O'Sullivan there, I mean, he doesn't have to do anything. Martins can't even get alongside him that time round. Back in towards turn 1. But I think all it is Martins will just kind of show the nose. O'Sullivan will defend the inside. Martins kind of has a bit of a lazy look. But I'm sure ART been telling both those drivers, just bring the cars home 1 and 2. Oh, here we go. Martins this time. He's got a big run on Zach O'Sullivan back down in towards turn 1. This time round, your two ARTs are going to go side by side there as well. Martins, once again, will just slot back in on the exit of the corner. And when I mentioned it, obviously ART probably just telling him to make sure they get both cars home. But F2 is not really a team sport in the same way F1 is. It is every driver fighting for themselves in this series. And yeah, O'Sullivan once again trying to fight it out for the win. But I have noticed though, normally Martins actually has to brake early down at turn 1 because he's tucked up behind his teammates so closely. So that might open a door for us towards the end of this. But we've kind of got to preempt when that's going to happen and then send it. Once again, you can see Victor Martins, he does get good drive out of that final corner. He is able to close in quite rapidly on his teammate. And once again, I think O'Sullivan just getting more and more worried as the laps count down that his teammate's trying to line up a move somewhere. He will go the long way around through turn 1 this time. And now Martins have the inside line for turn 2. They're still wheel to wheel though. ART putting on a show at the front of the order there. Who's going to win out of it through turn 3? It's not going to be either of them. We're going to be the one to try and win out there as side by side up the hill with Zach O'Sullivan there. He just about will try and squeeze us out up over the top and will be able to keep the nose down the inside there. Not quite able to find the grip as all. O'Sullivan will only just hang on to it. We've got yellows out. Someone, I think, a little bit further back has ran into problems. That's Victor Martins. Martins out of the Grand Prix. There was no contact anywhere, so that hasn't been caused by anything else. But Victor Martins out of the race, and that kind of means that move that we made on him was pretty much irrelevant. Well, let's see what kind of run then we can get on Zach O'Sullivan by the time we make it back down in towards turn 1 here. That gap is under 3/10. And as we'll just show... I was trying to just show the nose there, see if we could scare him. That absolutely hasn't happened down in turn 1 though. If anything, that's worked out really nicely for him as we've left a load of yellow flags out behind us as the Constantina and up has gone really wild. We've got a car that's span, but I think everybody will sort themselves out and it's too late for a safety car anyway. Oh no, Pepe Marti now has got the run on me back down in towards turn 1, and I think Zach O'Sullivan maybe accidentally has pulled a blinder here as we are now under pressure from the Campos man once again. Oh, a little bit of wheel banging there as we try to really squeeze each other. And will the Spaniard be able to go the long way around through turn 2? He's going to have the inside line if he can keep it there ready for turn 3. As again we bang wheels on the exit. We will hang on though this time round. And suddenly Zach O'Sullivan has gone from under pressure all race long to a nice cushy 2-second lead. And on to the last lap we'll go then. Are we going to see Pepe Marti get the run again? Yes, we are. Pepe Marti, I've only just realised how much time he was closing in on me. We're going to give him the outside line for turn 1. And once again, our confidence on the brakes is hopefully going to try and carry us here, as we will once again try to dictate the line against the Spaniard here. He's going to try to look still to the inside there, temporarily 3 wide, as Dennis Hauger wanted to try and find a way into the show. But we will just about find the grip there on the exit of the corner. But at the front of the order, Zach O'Sullivan, he was under so much pressure from his teammate. Victor Martins couldn't make anything happen, try as he might. That allowed us to get into between them, and pretty much simultaneously, Victor Martins' engine went bang in this race. But O'Sullivan there, after that, just a tiny bit of contact with ourselves, as we made a little bit of an error, and that has just gifted the ART driver the win this afternoon. As we navigate our way through the final few corners, he's going to have his work cut out come Sunday afternoon. But Zach O'Sullivan, we obviously saw him win in quite dramatic fashion the Monaco Monaco feature race IRL. This time around it's going to be a tiny bit more plain sailing for him, and maybe a little bit more based on skill rather than luck as well. Through the final corner, Zach O'Sullivan is going to be a Hungarian GP sprint winner, and I have absolutely cooked these tyres, but we come through for P2.
The British driver looks up and sees the checkered flag first. Zach O'Sullivan takes the win.
Well, whether you love or hate sprints in Formula 1, they definitely deliver. In Formula 2, lovely stuff. Great racing.
ART, the French team who have been racing since the 90s in various forms of motorsport, are once again back on the winner's podium today after a brilliant display of driving skill.
Well, there we are then. Zach O'Sullivan takes the win ahead of ourselves there. Pepe Marti in P3 out of Hauger, Kushmini, Miata, and even Behrman getting a point as well from the sprint race there. Richard Verschoor comes through for P8 as Paul Aaron, one of only 3 drivers inside your top 10 to finish exactly where they started. One of 3 drivers across the entire grid to finish exactly where they started in that one. But what is that going to do to our championship standings? Well, it means we are back into P3. There's just 2 points in it between Marty, ourselves, and Ollie Behrman behind. And Gabriel Bortoletto, well, he's just going to have to again write off another weekend and hope that he can bring it back inside the top 10 next time out there. Constructors-wise, Prema still lead ahead of Campos and High-Tech, their ART. That could have been a huge haul for them, but they will still get the 10 points for the victory as well there. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 2 returns ready here for the feature.